going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today with another video. Let's talk about what's going on in Detroit Lions land. Detroit Lions, man, they made a nice move yesterday. They signed vet quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater in the house, 30 years old, 6'2", 215 pounds. The Detroit Lions, man, they're trying to upgrade their backup quarterback position, and I think that's what they did here. They signed him to a one-year deal at $6.5 million. I think everything's guaranteed there. And let's talk about his numbers first, and then we'll get into the actual pickup itself. You know, he went to college, obviously, Louisville Cardinal, 3 years there, 9,817 yards, 68.4% completion percentage, 72 touchdowns, 24 picks, 157.2 QBR. Rushed for 170 yards and 6 touchdowns. Not really a mobile quarterback, but can get out of the pocket, make a little bit of noise there, but he's not going to scramble for 70, 80-yard touchdowns. He's just not that guy. Even coming out of college, he wasn't that type of guy. So he was drafted in the first round, 2014, by the Minnesota Vikings from the NFC North. 9 years in the NFL, only got maybe pretty much only 7 years of stats, got 8 years of stats, but really only 7. If you look at that, I think it was his third year as a Minnesota Viking, third or fourth year as a Minnesota Viking, and he didn't really get into any games. So, but he has been in the NFL for 9 years, 8 years of stats. Now let's talk about his NFL stats. 15,210 yards, 66.4% completion percentage, 75 touchdowns, 47 interceptions, 65 starts, a 33-32 quarterback record, which I really hate to say, but he does have that record. He's rushed for 846 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3.9 yards per carry, 19 fumbles in his NFL career. 30 years old as well, too, turns 31 in November. Now, this is a move strictly as a backup. I don't understand why some of this fan base gets upset over moves like this. Why is this fan base so allergic to upgrades? Is it because they just don't understand the game? Is it because we're just not used to the Lions making good moves here? What is it? I don't understand why somebody can get upset over a move like this. It's been talked about since April that this guy was coming here. They put out an offer sheet for him, a significant offer sheet. For some reason, he turned it down. He wanted to go look to see what was going on in the NFL, waiting for an injury, waiting for something better. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Teddy Bridgewater's camp back then. So there was talks he was coming. Better option than Nate Sudfeld, 100%. Didn't happen. Then a couple months later, another visit. So then all of a sudden he signs. Sudfeld has a really bad practice, I guess, on that Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Threw 3 interceptions. Did throw a couple touchdowns though, but he looked awful. They went out and they made the deal. They made it happen. Teddy Bridgewater is now a Detroit Lion. Now, I don't understand how anybody can be upset over this pickup. 65 starts to his name. He's done some things in the NFL. One Pro Bowl. He has made a Pro Bowl. I don't know if he was an alternate, but he has made a Pro Bowl. He had a vote for Comeback Player of the Year as well too, but he never won that award. But he did have a vote a few years back. Played for a few organizations. Minnesota. He looked like he was going to be okay as a Minnesota Viking. He got a 17-11 record there. He got that bad ACL tear. He had that ACL tear, non-contact injury in training camp, I believe it was, and he missed that whole year. And it looked like he was going to be an okay quarterback for the Vikings before that, though. It looked like he was going to be decent. Nothing special, but decent. Then they moved on finally from him, went to the Saints. Saints fans loved him. He was a 5-1 record. He went 5-0 at one point. Everybody wanted him to come back. They didn't sign him. They didn't re-sign him. They let him walk. And then the Panthers gave him a nice significant amount of money, and he was a disaster there. It wasn't really good there. A 4-11 record. So not so much. The fan base didn't really like him there. Then he went to Denver. Played decent 2021, 7-7 record. Put up some numbers, nothing special, but he looked like he was, kind of back on track. And then he had that horrible rough year in Miami last year in 2022. Went 0-2, hurt all the time, concussed. Just got hurt all the time, man. And he's had some injuries in his career, okay? He's had sprained ankles on both, broken wrists, sprained MCL, shin injury, hand and finger dislocations. Didn't miss a ton of time because of those injuries, but the more serious injuries, he's had 4 concussions, and he had that bad knee ACL tear grade with the Minnesota Vikings that missed the whole season. Then he was eventually discarded from Minnesota. Now, Teddy Bridgewater is probably one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL today. And we can base this off just experience, putting up some numbers. Is he a great quarterback? Hell no. He's not a great quarterback. Is Jared Goff's job in jeopardy? No, it's not. He's not coming here to take Goff's job. He's not coming here to steal reps from Goff in camp. Jared Goff is the guy. But I don't understand why this fan base doesn't like upgrades. And it's not everybody in this fan base. I think majority like this. But there's people out there that are just livid with this pickup, which I don't understand. Would you rather have a Nate Sudfeld who's done absolutely nothing in the NFL? Nothing. He hasn't done nothing. 0 starts to his name. Would you rather have him or a guy that's 65 starts in the NFL, has played in the playoffs, and has put up at least some numbers? He's put up numbers. He's nothing special. He's not here to steal jobs. You don't want Teddy Bridgewater to play. This is not one of those moments where Super Bowl bound, baby. We're going to the Super Bowl. Teddy Bridgewater's in the building. No. But if Jared Goff goes down, I'm more comfortable with a guy like a Teddy Bridgewater than a Nate Sudfeld. Believe me, Goff goes down, the season's in jeopardy. You can say that about 32 teams. All 32 teams, you can say that. Your starting quarterback goes down, your season is in jeopardy. It's probably over if he goes down for a significant amount of time. Now, if Goff was to happen to go down, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen, I'm more comfortable with the Teddy Bridgewater. How can this fan base not be as well? It's bizarre to me on how this fan base acts over upgrades. This is an upgrade to Nate Sudfeld. Now what happens with Sudfeld? I don't know. Do they put him on the practice squad? Do they carry 3 quarterbacks? Because Teddy Bridgewater is your backup. That's in stone. I don't know if they're going to release Sudfeld. Maybe they do and let him become a backup somewhere else. They give him that wish. I don't know. Or they put him in that practice squad. Adrian Martinez is still here. I don't think he's looked that hot in camp from the reports. So they're probably going to, my guess is they're going to keep Sudfeld over Martinez. That's my guess. I don't know, though. Maybe Sudfeld gets released. More to come on that later on. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not too concerned about the QB3 on this team right now. I'm more concerned that if Goff was to go down, that we have a reliable, serviceable quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. And that's all it is. Nobody wants Teddy Bridgewater to play. Let's not get carried away here. Because he's not better than Jared Goff, but he's better than Sudfeld and Martinez, and that's a fact. Jack, that's just a fact. So this is an upgrade. This is a good move. And if you look at we haven't had, and I'm going off the rails here, but we haven't had a good backup quarterbacks in Sean Hill. That was 2010 to 2013. That was a long time ago, man. That was a long time ago. So tell me who anybody else wanted. We drafted Hendon Hooker. He's not going to be ready. He's going to be redshirted, according to the Dan Campbell. He is learning and he's healing. That's what he's doing. He's not going to be ready. He's not going to play a single snap this year. Hendon Hooker. This move right here not only cements that, but it cements that Hooker's not even going to be QB2 here. Not this year. Brent, Teddy Bridgewater is our backup quarterback. And if you look at the current backups in the league, who should we have grabbed besides Teddy Bridgewater? Dalton's gone. He's a Panther. Jacoby Brissett is a Washington Commander. Tyler Heineke is an Atlanta Falcon. Gardner Minshew is an Indianapolis Colt. Jameis Winston, a Saint. Sam Darnold, 49ers. Cooper Rush, Cowboys. I can go on and on and on and on. Tell me who they should have grabbed instead of Teddy Bridgewater. If this team is seriously thinking they can win, you have to go get a really good backup quarterback. And he is a good backup quarterback. He's a backup. We don't want him starting, but if he was to start, if Goff was to go down for 3, 4, 5 games, I'm comfortable with the Teddy Bridgewater to manage 3, 4, 5 games and hopefully squeak out a couple wins there. That's what it's all about. It's not about asking Teddy Bridgewater to go win football games if Jared Goff goes down. It's not about that. It's can you keep him afloat if you're winning until Jared Goff is healthy and ready to return. That's what it's all about. And they got a good, serviceable quarterback. Not a guy that's going to put on a cape and win you football games, but it's a guy that can kind of keep you afloat. And that's what Bridgewater is. He's had some injuries, I get it. Rough in Miami. 2 years ago, he was playing decent football in Denver. He's only 30. He's going to be 31 in November. He's not ancient. But he has suffered some injuries. I get it. Okay, if you're upset about the injury thing, sure, that's fine. That's fine. But if you're talking about quarterback skills and production, give me Bridgewater 150 times 150 over a guy like Nate Sudfeld. Every single time. This is an upgrade, Lions fans. It's not anything else. It's an upgrade at the quarterback backup position. Just the backup. And Goff's got to be happy about this. This is good. He gets to pick Bridgewater's brain a little bit too. Bridgewater's been around. He's been around the block, man. Bridgewater's played on what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. Been around the block, man. You can pick his brain. And vice versa. Bridgewater can pick Goff's brain. It's good. They're actually kind of the same quarterback, Bridgewater and Goff. I think Goff has a better arm. I think Goff does have a better arm, but they're similar. But they're similar quarterbacks. They're both, they both can kind of move out of the pocket. You don't want them doing that. They are pocket passers, but Goff can throw on the run. He really can, and so can Teddy. But you don't want these guys running around out of the pocket, anyways. He's going to a good system. He's got familiarity again with Dan Campbell and the New Orleans Saint days. Good system with Ben Johnson running the show. Good O-line, good weapons, everything. Good running game. He couldn't have landed in a better spot. Teddy couldn't have landed in a better spot. And I think it's a great get by Brad Holmes because you got a reliable guy, if he can stay healthy, who can manage a couple games in a pinch. I think it's a good move by the Detroit Lions. Not going to the Super Bowl because of this move, but it's a solid backup move to a guy in case he goes down. And you don't want Goff going down. And the whole intention is not for Teddy Bridgewater to play. We don't want him to play. You don't ever want your backup to play. 32 teams don't want their backup quarterbacks playing. That's why they're called backups. That's why they're called backups, and they hold a clipboard, and they got a headset on the sidelines, and they're talking to the quarterback during the games, learning the plays, Get in there, learn the system. It's a good move. Good move by the Lions, man. I talked too long about this already. 15 and change. So I like the move. Teddy Ballgame's in the building. 1 year, $6.5 million. I think everything. I think it's all guaranteed. It's a solid move by Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell picking up a reliable backup. So hopefully he can stay healthy because he has had some injuries. But I'd rather have him. I'd rather have a semi-washed quarterback like a Bridgewater than a 100% healthy, younger Nate Sudfeld who's done squat in the NFL. And I'm sorry people think I'm kind of throwing shade on Nate. I'm really not. It's just that he hasn't done anything. Could he do something? Maybe. But he's done nothing, and we got a guy that's reliable, who's been there, and he's done that. He's done lots of things in the NFL, man. He's played on some decent teams. He's won some games. He's played in the playoffs. You can't ask for anything better. He's one of the better backup available quarterbacks in the NFL today. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys listening. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Teddy Ball Game, Teddy Two Gloves in the building. Good backup option for Jared Goff. Good move, Brad Holmes. Go Lions. Let's go. One pride, baby. Bam. Woo!